Are you a fan of Arcade1up's Fast and the Furious arcade machine? Did you pick one up last year and think to yourself while playing it, man, this thing is pretty cool, but I wish it was just a little bit taller? Or, man, this would be so much better in a sit-down racer configuration? Well, if that's you, I've got good news for you because the Buy Stuff store has some new kits that will let you do just that. In fact, you can even change the artwork on it to make it more arcade accurate if you like. And I'm going to show all that off to you right after this. Alright everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button. Click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video. Give this one a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So it looks like the Buy Stuff store has got a new kit converter out there to allow you to make some changes to the Fast and the Furious cab. And I gotta say, I think they look pretty cool, and I wanted to show them off to you guys so you can make a decision on if this is something you want to do to your Fast and the Furious cab. Let's check it out. Alright, so here we are on BuyStuffArcades.com, the Buy Stuff store's website, and we're looking at the Fast and the Furious sit-down and riser kits. So what you can see here is they've got a couple of different options if you want to modify your Fast and the Furious cab, whether it is the riser kit to add 3 to 5 inches to the overall height of the machine, or a full-on sit-down conversion. Let's start off by looking at the riser kit. So for the riser kit, they've actually got several options here, starting with the fact that you can get it in a 3-inch or 5-inch conversion kit to add 3 or 5 inches to your Fast and the Furious machine, whereas a lot of their risers are just riser bottom pieces that you can purchase and then put your arcade machine on top of it. This is actually a full bottom replacement, or at least the side panels are being replaced. So what they do here is they give you 2 new side panels with the added height and then an extra piece of wood to go here to fill in the gap that would be created for the front piece. Now looking at the actual Fast and the Furious machine from Arcade1up, you can see the difference here. You can see that you've got this top piece and bottom piece. Here's the seam right here. So what you would do is you'd have to take the top piece up and off and completely redo the bottom piece, basically. Put the new side panels on, and then there's going to be a piece of wood that goes here to fill it, like I said, to fill in the gap. You can definitely tell from this picture how much taller it is. You've got the little Arcade1up logo down here, whereas here, you know, it's just the black area here. You can see it's so much bigger. You can also see that this coin door is a little further down here than it is here, because you know, this whole piece is going to move down, like I said, and then there's going to be a piece of wood here to fill in that gap. Now, one thing to note, and they do point it out here, is that while it does come with yellow T-molding, the yellow color match is very close to the top of the cab, but not 100%. There is a small color discrepancy, so you might notice a slight difference in the molding from the top to the bottom if you do this mod. I'm sure they got it as close as they could, but there might be a slight difference in the yellow on the T-molding between the top and the bottom, so something to consider if you're going to purchase this. If that's the kind of thing that would bug you, then this may not be a mod for you. But beyond that, like I said, if you wanted to add some height to your stand-up, this is an option to go for. Now, another cool thing that I think they've done here is not only have they done this where you can match it to the original graphics of the Fast and the Furious, but you can get all new graphics to it, which will closer mimic the original arcade machine. You can see here, you know, the car looks a little different. I think it's a lot closer, that color green, to the original. You've got Vin Diesel and Paul Walker up top, which is obviously something missing from the Arcade1up one, because they couldn't get the, you know, the likeness for it. You know, whatever. But what you'll get here is you'll get the bottom piece with this new artwork, and then a for the top piece here, they will give you artwork that you can put on top of the original one to make it one cohesive piece on it, which I think is a really cool option for people. If you were looking to maybe replace the artwork on your Fast and Furious to get it closer to the original machine, this is a cool option for you, along with maybe adding a little bit of extra height to the machine. Now, on top of that, if you wanted to, you could add a 3D textured hub to this, basically a little replacement piece for the middle of the steering wheel to give it different logos and things like that. I believe this is something they did for their other racer configurations that they have. Now, I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest with you. I think the Fast and the Furious that they have here, I think matches the arcade aesthetic a little bit better. But if it's something you wanted to do, it's an option that they're offering to you. Along with that, you can get different colored covers for the pedals, silver or red, which are just nice. They add a little something extra to it. They also protect the pedals a little bit by adding this. Or you could do a complete pedal adaptation kit, which is a whole separate purchase on this if you didn't want to keep the stock Arcade1up pedals. But these are just extra options that you could add when purchasing this. Now, this option is going to range in price from about $139 if you just want to go with the 3-inch original graphics, all the way up to over $225 if you wanted to go with the 5-inch new graphics and add that textured hub and pedal. So anywhere between $140 and $225 is what you're looking to pay for this riser kit conversion. But even more interesting is this sit-down conversion kit, which is based on the racing cab kit that the Buy Stuff stores. That's a full kit that you can buy to build your own racing cab, complete with base, back box, everything. You just have to add your own PC or whatever you want with your own racing games on it. In this case, this is going to be a conversion, obviously, for the Fast and the Furious, and you can get it in a bunch of different configurations. Now, to start off, you have the option of getting just the sit-down base part, which will completely replace the bottom piece of your Fast and Furious cab. You take off the top piece of it, put it on this brand new base, which is going to either mimic the original graphics, or again, you could get it with the new graphics that look a little closer to the original arcade. The base has the pedals recessed in it, so that if you are sitting down at this, you know, your feet can kind of go in. You can get a little closer to the cab. Your feet can go in and sit a little more comfortably. So you could do this if you just wanted to make the machine shorter and then maybe sit at a stool on it and play it that way. Now, again, keep in mind with this, and they do say it here, the yellow molding isn't going to be a 100% exact match, so you might notice a slight difference in the color on the molding if you do this conversion. But of course, if you want to make this a full sit-down version of the cab, you've got to go not just with the base, but with the seat mount as well. So this will add the seat mount here. And again, this is just this piece here. I'll get into this in a minute, but the chair, keep in mind, does not come with it. That is something you will have to source yourself. But you will get this piece here that you can mount a seat to. And this will make it more of a full sit-down version. Now, again, you can get this in original graphics. You can get it with the new graphics on it. Again, closer to the arcade machine. But overall, I think this is a really cool looking conversion to it. Now, you can also stick with the original Arcade1up pedals, or you can upgrade to Thrustmaster pedals or Logitech pedals if you like. You can even do that textured hub and pedal covers like they offer with the riser. And in addition, you can kind of see here that there's a little license plate here. You can customize that if you want. For an extra 15 bucks, you can have it say whatever you want. And again, depending on the options you go for, you've got, of course, a range of prices. Just replacing the base is going to cost you about $139, all the way up to about $330 if you go with the base, the seat mount, the textured hub, and the pedal covers. And again, if you wanted to replace the pedals themselves, that's either the Thrustmaster 2 or the Logitech. I believe they do sell an adapter for that, but you'd probably have to go out and purchase your own versions of the pedals. Or, you know, if you have these already and you wanted to put them in here, that's what the conversion kits would be for. Now, as I said, if you go with this option, one thing you are not getting is you are not getting this seat here. Just with their racing cab kit, you'd actually have to go out and purchase your own seat. Now, they've got a bunch of different links here to Amazon, whether you're in the US or Canada, to give you some options on different seats to get. So for instance, this is one of the seats that they link to on Amazon. You can see this is about $100, maybe a little bit more if you pick a different color. Like, I think this green one would obviously be perfect for Fast and the Furious. That's going to cost you about $110. But you know what you would do here is you'd buy this, and then you'd have to take the bottom piece off here. It's usually some bolts or screws on the bottom with a metal plate that holds it in place. You just take that apart, take the seat off, put it onto the base, and you're ready to go. So yes, you're going to have to source your own seat. That is going to be an added purchase, probably anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on what you decide to go for. But look, if you're going to do this and you want to go all in, you know, then it's certainly an option. All right, and there you have it. That's a look at the Buy Stuff Store's new conversion kit for the Fast and the Furious to either give it a little extra height if you want to go with the riser option, or convert it into a full-on sit-down racing machine. Now keep in mind that the Buy Stuff Store also sells a gaming box that you can add to the Fast and the Furious to completely change the games lineup on it. So you could turn this into a full-on sit-down racer with multiple racing games on it if you so choose. You could definitely go all out and make this your #1 racing cab in your arcade sit-down version with a ton of racing games on it, all that kind of good stuff. So I think that this is actually a pretty neat option for those of you who are a fan of the Fast and the Furious, who maybe want to change it up to look a little different. If nothing else, I think maybe going with one of the cheaper options like that 3-inch riser increase and the new graphics that look closer to the arcade machine is a cool mod to do if you didn't want to spend all that money and go, like I said, full on with the sit down one. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of this conversion kit from the Buy Stuff Store? Do you own Fast and the Furious? Is this something that you would want to do to your kit? Or do you just want to, you know, leave it stock and you don't really care about any of this kind of stuff? Let me know your thoughts below. All right, but that's going to do it for this one. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know that in the comments. Hit that like button if you did enjoy it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that as well. That's all for now, and I will see you guys on the next one. Hope you have a great day. Take care.